when I used to watch those guys that would lose their tempers, they were funny to me when I was younger. But then as I got older, I'm like, I'm kind of like that. I got to stop that. But
Oh, can we talk about that, Jim? Can we talk about that, Bill, for a
yeah,
minute?
yeah.
My lovely wife, Nicole, who you know, um, she wants me to ask Bill about how he eventually, or if so, got himself calmed down a little bit, because I'm so fucking spaz all the time. And I have no patience, and you have to have a certain way with my spoiled ass.
Right.
So what have you done? Or did you get anywhere?
Oh,
Or what happened?
well, I did all the things everybody does, but what happened to me was I sort of bottomed out and I just couldn't be the way I was anymore. And, it was affecting everybody, not just me, but everybody around me. So I'd gone back to therapy, and because I was more, older and more mature, it was more effective, but it still wasn't doing it for me. So I ended up having sort of this breakthrough doing this acting gig where I was, oh Jesus, what happened? I was reading the lines for this scene, and it was making me emotional. I was just
Mhm.
running them in my hotel room, and I would get choked up like I was going to cry, but it wasn't something in real life that would make me cry. So I was like, why is that happening? And that has happened throughout my time when I've gotten to act, that I feel these feelings really intensely, as opposed to like my everyday life. And I thought that was what acting was. But what I ended up figuring out with that one, because I kept going, oh, that weird thing happened again. So I would start the scene over, and it just kept happening. So then I was kind of freaking out, going, oh my God, am I going to start blubbering tomorrow down on set for this thing that isn't worthy of crying, and I'm going to look crazy and I'm going to get fired or whatever? And so I kind of just did what I do when I'm on mushrooms, where I just ask a question and the universe answered. I guess you can do that without being on mushrooms, because I was like, what is this? And I don't know why. Like, for some reason, the answer came. I figured out that, the way that they raise boys to be men, or, or just the generation I came up in, like, you locked it all away. If you had any sort of vulnerability, any sort of pensive moment, any sort of I need help, I'm not sure about this, I'm scared. All of that's you're not a man. That's, what are you, a pansy? Go get
Yeah.
that kid a dress, right?
Yeah.
So it all got locked behind. And then, as I got older, when things would affect me, and, as a man, if you're going to start to cry, what do? You look at the wall, you stare at the floor until
Mhm.
it goes away. It doesn't go away. It stays in there, and then it comes out a different way. So what I realized was that I was living my life. I had like three emotions, I was like happy, angry, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
Those are
Right.
my options. So I had a 33.3% chance of losing my shit as every moment happened during the day. So but then when I act, these characters are feeling feelings that I was not allowed to feel.
For sure.
So this scene, this guy was just disappointed. He was presenting this thing. He wanted this guy to do something, and he wasn't. So I was disappointing him. Disappointing is kind of like, what are you letting that guy? Fuck that guy. You shouldn't let. But that is in the vulnerability thing. So I had to open the vault. So what was happening was a cry that I didn't cry 40, 50 fucking years ago
There you go.
comes flying out.
Yep.
So it's almost, instead of misdirected anger, now it's like this misdirected crying. Like, why am I crying over? I'm talking about social media. What am I fucking crying about? And it's like, oh, because, 50 years ago, somebody beat the shit out of me or stole my bike or whatever.
Yep.
And I had to be a man and, at 8 and not cry. So I was in my hotel room and I was just like, well, I don't know what this is. I don't know why I'm crying, but I got to cry this out so it doesn't come out tomorrow when I go to the fucking set. I'm like freaking out. It was really kind of funny. So I was by myself, and I cried it out, and then I was able to do the scene. because that whatever that was filled to the brim and needed to come out. So then
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So then I realized, like, oh, so what happens is when I act, the door comes open. When I go back to my life, it closes. What happens if I leave it open? So
Oof.
I leave it open, which was hard, still felt stupid in therapy, but I also became aware of like how many feelings I start to have and I stop them. So I started to stop doing that. And then I did this breath work massage from this woman who was like a healer, who was like literally had like her elbow on my back, going like, all right, this is your liver. This is where you keep the anger.
Sure.
She goes, don't be afraid to say things or make noises, dude. I was like, it sounded like an exorcism. And I was saying random phrases. And then I had like this psychedelic trip through this town I grew up in when I was really little, when a lot of bad shit happened to me. And I used to not be able to remember street names or names of kids. And I could kind of remember all of it. And I went back as an adult and was able to kind of take myself out of there. And I got up off the table like 90 minutes later, and the lady just did like a double take. She goes, "You don't even look like the same person."
Exactly.
So then I didn't lose my temper once for like almost like 90 days. And then I lost my temper about something. I beat myself up, but then I realized, well, anger is also an emotion. But I also learned that, like, oh, I can't just go there one time. I did heal a lot, but what it more was a light to walk towards.
Yeah, sure.
Like, I'm already feeling it now. Like, I've been doing a lot of shows this week. I have a lot of pressure on some deadlines and stuff. And what happens is I'll either get snippy or I start to feel depressed. And then that's
or both.
Okay, yeah, I need to meditate. Like today, I didn't want to go to the gym. And I didn't give into that. It's like, I got to go. I got to get this shit going because this will be good for my brain. And it's kind of been this woman with my therapy, and then this woman and like meditating. And I was also journaling every day. And I've kind of gotten a little bit away from that. It's like trying to quit drinking. I mean, how many times you got to try before it finally takes? So like, I am in the process of, I am totally different. Like, I don't lose my shit anymore. And like the other day, like I was having a difficult day and my wife came to me like 3 times about something that I had done and said. Like, I was trying to watch this hockey game and I'm trying to press it. I mean, how many things I got to press? I did that.
It's still the same.
She goes, "You don't need to yell like that." And I just looked at her. I go, "I know, you're right." I go, "That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's stupid. I'm sorry." And then she just smiled. And it was over. Yeah. So like, I'm a human being. So I'm
That's
trying
right.
to, I can't AI my way out of my childhood. So I'm going to be making a lot of mistakes here. So I've been able to kind of, if you can find somebody that does that, and like, but what it is you have to be ready. You have to be like, it's almost like, you kind of got to get rid of all the shame and stigma of all those emotions that they don't let men feel because, oh, you're a sissy, you're this, you're that. Mm-hmm. So like all of these, you got to like just be fucking John Wayne or some stuff. And it's, I don't know. It's like, it's not the way to live. It's probably why women outlive us. Is because they cry out all of that. Yeah, they can, right. I'm not saying all of them, but some of them are shut down. But the ones that are in touch, if you can cry out or express or say, I need help, you stop caring. Because that was another thing too, because I thought I had buried all that shit in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. When it came out, dude, it was like right there. It was standing right over my shoulder for 50 years. Wait and be like, can we come out now? Can we finally address that this happened or that happened?
Well, what I hear you saying, my friend, is that, you took the Pacific Ocean into your bucket, okay? And then the bucket got full. And then by being able to find a way to express yourself, you were able to pour some of that ocean back, right? That kind of thing.
A lot,
not just your comedy and your other things, but so many other outlets that you have now. being able to express yourself. You have somebody that loves you and cares about you, how you express yourself, right? Especially when you're together at home type of thing. But everybody's bucket gets full. And it's a lot of the times it's not your doing, it's someone else's decisions being made that fills that bucket because you do care, right? So there's
what my thing is I fucking say yes to everything. All right, yeah, I'll do that. And I just and then I look at my month and I'm going, what the fuck am I doing? And I'm always talking about like, I'd love to have a day off. And like, then it's just like, well, I'll have like a fucking Zoom call on a Sunday going like, why did I say I could? And I don't even look at my schedule. I just go, all right, yeah. And part of that is is like how I used to deal with all of that shit that I kind of cried out and talked about. How I used to deal with it was I would just stay busy. If I just keep moving, I stay ahead of I used to call it the fog.
Yeah, sure.
And if I couldn't be home at my house, I would be like 2-3 hours and I would just fucking start losing it. Like I gotta go play drums. I gotta go fucking ride a motorcycle. I gotta do a stand-up spot. I gotta, go to the gym. I gotta go, I don't know. I just gotta go do something. You need any errands to be run? I gotta get the fuck out of here. I was like a Jack Russell Terrier.
So you were answering yes to things. You didn't have your tie on a Sunday and you're still answering to them. So that shit changed a lot.
Yeah, no. So now I can actually I can like be home now and not drive my wife nuts because I'm like jumping out of my own skin.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, it is. And it's funny. I used to really vibe with comedians because we were all that same kind of crazy. And I'm feeling myself not being that same kind of crazy. So when I get around how I used to be, it's really like eye-opening to me.
Mm-hmm, sure.
Like, cause I remember my wife used to know when I did a spot at the Cellar. She knew when I went down there because it was so like, talons out, just people. It was fucking fun. It was hilarious, but was it healthy? Nah, I don't. One of those things where it's like drinking's fun until it isn't. And it's like, busting chops, it keeps you sharp. You can handle a crowd. And then it does get to a point where like, hey man, that kind of like hurt. And now I have a complex about that.
Well, yeah.
But I'm not allowed to say that because we're all men here. So I'll just carry that and I'll come home and be extra snippy with somebody who loves me and cares for me. It has nothing to do with that. So I never understood what she meant. And she'd be like, I can always tell when you go down there, And I didn't understand. I should have understood what she was saying, where it's just like, I'm not saying don't go down there, but just be sort of aware, have some deflectors up. But, in defense of those people, I was doing it too. So.
Yeah, you're, no matter how good your intentions are or your forward motion or whatever it was to build your craft, you expose yourself to stuff and then absorb some things that maybe you didn't want to. And so you're coming back with that shit absorbed and she's seeing the reflection of it.
I actually thought I had to. My whole way.
Right. That's what I mean. That's what I mean. Your
used to
intentions
think
were
like,
there.
oh, is that a horrible place where you just get abused? All right, let me go in there and learn how to take that. And I was just kept trying to toughen myself up so I couldn't be hurt, which is an impossible human situation. You're always going to be able to be hurt. But like, I was trying to, rip the Band-Aid off, get it over with. Like, it's weird because it really helped me in some areas. I became a really well-rounded comic because I did every room I could do in front of every crowd. But it was, it was just a reflection of just the generation I grew up in, where it wasn't the level of attention and care for kids wasn't up to where it needed to be. But in defense of the people that raised us, it was way beyond what they had. So, that's the game. You're trying to improve it. You ever think you'd hear me talking like this? I didn't.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that you did, though. And I can relate just about right across the board on all of it. And, pushing things down, only being able to do certain stuff, can only show your face in a certain way. and all that type of thing, especially, the circles that you ran in and the things you've just spoken of, whatever builds your tough skin. It's the same thing in this world, very much so, because there's competition.
I know you've been, anybody in the music business has been through it 360.
but especially in the heavy realm. Okay, you're not like the guys in Air Supply aren't throwing elbows, right? There's a kind of a different trip. There's just
be hilarious if they were.
I would like it more, but I'd like to see a pit at an Air Supply. Then I'd be saying this is the shit. I would.
What if I told you the two toughest people in the music world are the guys from Air Supply? You would know it from the music.
I'd be even a bigger fan.